What if I told you that our ancestors, thousands of years ago, might have possessed technology we thought was invented only yesterday? Imagine divers exploring a shipwreck, not for gold, but finding something far more precious. A machine, a complex device of gears and dials, resting silently on the seabed for 2 millennia. This is not a fantasy. This is the story of archaeology, a field where a single discovery can shatter our understanding of the past. It forces us to ask a profound question. How much do we truly know about the people who came before us? The earth beneath our feet is a library of forgotten stories, and sometimes we find a volume written in a language we never expected. Our timeline of human history is a carefully constructed thing. We believe we know when the wheel was invented, when societies learned to write, and when the first complex machines appeared. But the ground occasionally gives up a secret, an object so out of place, so advanced for its time, that it defies all our neat classifications. These are the artifacts that archaeologists call out-of-place artifacts, or OU parts. They are the anomalies, the glitches in our historical narrative. They challenge our assumptions about the capabilities of ancient civilizations. They whisper of forgotten knowledge, of skills and technologies that were perhaps lost to time, only to be rediscovered centuries later. It is a humbling experience. These discoveries are not just curiosities, they are puzzles that ignite fierce debate among experts. Each one is a detective story. The clues are made of stone, metal, or parchment. The crime scene is an ancient tomb, a sunken ship, or a forgotten cave. The mystery is not who did it, but how. How did a society without electricity create a battery? How did people without modern computers build a mechanical calculator of astonishing complexity? These questions push the boundaries of our knowledge. They force us to reconsider what was possible in the ancient world. It is a journey into the unknown, a quest to understand the true genius of our ancestors. The allure of these objects is undeniable. They connect us to a past that is not static or simple, but dynamic, surprising, and full of wonder. They remind us that history is not a closed book. There are still chapters waiting to be read, secrets waiting to be unearthed. As we delve into some of these remarkable finds, we are not just looking at old objects. We are looking into a mirror that reflects a more mysterious and capable version of humanity than we ever imagined. The story of our past, it seems, is far from over, and it is filled with astonishing surprises. The year is 1900. Off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera, a group of sponge divers stumbles upon an ancient Roman shipwreck. The wreck is filled with treasures, marble statues, pottery, and glassware. But amongst the beautiful artifacts, they find a lump of corroded bronze. It is unassuming, easily mistaken for a rock. For months, it sits in the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, largely ignored. Then a piece breaks off, revealing something extraordinary inside. It is a series of interlocking gears, like the inside of a complex clock. But this object was 2,000 years old. The world had never seen anything like it. This device, now known as the Antikythera Mechanism, was a profound shock to historians and scientists. Complex gear trains like this were thought to be an invention of the 14th century in Europe, nearly 1,500 years after this machine was lost to the sea. Yet here it was, a sophisticated piece of engineering from the time of Julius Caesar. The mechanism was an analog computer of breathtaking genius. It was designed to predict the positions of the sun, moon, and planets. It could even foretell eclipses and track the 4-year cycle of the Olympic Games. It was a portable cosmos, a mechanical model of the universe as the ancient Greeks understood it. The conflict it created was immense. How could an ancient civilization, without the benefit of modern science or manufacturing, create such a thing? The device contained over 30 distinct bronze gears, all fitting together with incredible precision. Some of the teeth on the gears were only a millimeter long. It was a level of miniaturization and mechanical complexity that would not be seen again for a millennium and a half. For decades, researchers debated its purpose and its origin. Some even suggested it was not ancient at all, perhaps an object that fell onto the shipwreck much later. But all evidence confirmed its age. The mystery only deepened. Modern technology has given us a clearer picture. Using advanced X-ray scanning and three-dimensional modeling, scientists have digitally reconstructed the mechanism. They have deciphered more of the faint inscriptions on its surface, which act as a user's manual. We now know it was even more complex than we first thought, capable of tracking the variable motion of the moon. Yet the central mystery remains. Who made it, and were there others? The Antikythera Mechanism stands as a testament to a lost technological tradition, a glimpse of a genius that shone brightly and then somehow vanished from the historical record. Now we travel from the depths of the sea to the dry lands of Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq. In 1936, near Baghdad, railway workers unearthed an ancient village. Among the findings was a small, unassuming clay pot, no bigger than a man's fist. Inside the jar was a copper cylinder, and inside the copper cylinder was an iron rod held in place by an asphalt plug. At first, it seemed like just another container. But the archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig, who examined it, saw something else. He saw the simple, elegant design of an electric battery, a galvanic cell, created 2,000 years before Alessandro Volta was credited with its invention. This discovery, now called the Baghdad Battery, sent ripples of confusion through the scientific community. The setup was undeniable. If you were to fill the jar with an acidic liquid like vinegar or grape juice, the copper and iron would react. This would create a small but measurable electric current. The question was not could it produce electricity, but did it? And if so, for what purpose? This was a civilization from the Parthian period, around 250 BC. We have no record of them understanding or using electricity. The very idea seemed preposterous, like finding a steam engine in a pharaoh's tomb. The conflict among experts was immediate and has continued for decades. Skeptics argue that the object's true purpose has been misinterpreted. Perhaps it was simply a container for storing sacred scrolls, with the metal cylinder acting as a protective case. The asphalt plug, they say, would have sealed it perfectly from the elements. There is no written evidence from the period that mentions electricity. There are no ancient wires, no light bulbs, nothing to connect this potential power source to any practical application. The battery, if that is what it is, exists in a complete vacuum. It is a technology without a context. And yet, the theories for its use are tantalizing. Some have suggested it was used for electroplating, applying a thin layer of gold or silver onto other objects. Experiments have shown that the battery can indeed be used for this purpose. Others propose a more ritualistic function. Perhaps priests used the strange tingling sensation of the electric shock to awe followers to create a sense of magic or divine power. For now, the Baghdad Battery remains an enigma. It is a simple clay pot that holds a universe of possibilities, a silent challenge to our understanding of ancient innovation. Some mysteries are not made of metal or stone, but of ink and parchment. In 1912, a rare book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich acquired a strange manuscript from a Jesuit college in Italy. It was a book of about 240 pages, filled with illustrations of fantastical plants, strange astronomical charts, and bizarre biological drawings of what appear to be tiny human figures. But the most mystifying part of the book was its text. It was written in an elegant, flowing script, composed of an alphabet that exists nowhere else on Earth. To this day, despite the efforts of the world's greatest cryptographers and linguists, not a single word has been deciphered. This is the Voynich Manuscript. Carbon dating has placed its creation in the early 15th century, making it around 600 years old. From the moment of its rediscovery, it has been a source of complete and utter frustration. The text appears to be a genuine language. It follows statistical patterns found in real languages, with certain characters appearing more frequently than others, and specific combinations recurring in a structured way. This suggests it is not simply gibberish. It is a code, a lost language, or something stranger still. But if it is a code, it is one of the most brilliant and unbreakable ever conceived. The conflict surrounding the manuscript is a battle of intellects against a silent, 600-year-old puzzle. During World War II, top codebreakers from the American and British intelligence communities, people who could crack complex enemy ciphers, turned their attention to the manuscript. They failed. In the modern era, powerful computers using sophisticated algorithms have been unleashed upon its pages. They too have failed. Every attempt to link its alphabet to known languages or codes has led to a dead end. The illustrations offer no help. They depict plants that do not exist and astrological systems that match no known tradition. So, what is it? Theories range from the mundane to the extraordinary. Is it an elaborate hoax created by a clever medieval prankster to swindle a wealthy patron? Or is it the lost work of an alchemist, written in a secret code to protect forbidden knowledge? Some have even suggested it is an example of glossolalia, or speaking in tongues, where someone wrote down sounds they believed were divinely inspired. The Voynich Manuscript is more than just an unreadable book. It is a perfect mystery, a testament to the fact that some secrets are so well kept they may be lost to us forever. Let us now fly high above the arid plains of southern Peru. From the air, a breathtaking sight unfolds. Scratched into the surface of the desert floor are enormous drawings, geoglyphs of stunning scale and precision. There are over 1,000 of them. Some are simple geometric shapes, lines, trapezoids, and spirals that run for miles with perfect straightness. Others are spectacular figures of animals: a hummingbird, a spider, a monkey, a giant condor with a wingspan of over 400 feet. These are the Nazca lines, created by the Nazca culture between 500 BC and 500 made to be seen only from the sky. The discovery of these lines by commercial airline pilots in the 1930s presented a startling puzzle. The Nazca people who created them lived a simple existence on the desert floor. They had no known form of aviation. So why would they create massive artworks that could only be fully appreciated from hundreds of feet in the air? How did they manage to draw such perfectly straight lines and geometrically precise shapes over vast distances without an aerial viewpoint to guide them? The sheer scale of the project is staggering, a monumental feat of landscape art created by a civilization with only simple tools and surveying techniques. The mystery of the Nazca lines has sparked a fierce debate over their purpose. The conflict of ideas is as vast as the lines themselves. The most famous researcher, Maria Rika, dedicated her life to studying and preserving the lines. She believed they formed a massive astronomical calendar with the different figures and lines aligning with the sun, moon, and stars during important times of the year. This would have helped the Nazca people with their agriculture, predicting seasons in a harsh environment. It is a compelling and scientific explanation for these giant drawings. But other, more speculative theories persist. Some have proposed that the lines were pathways for religious processions, with different clans walking along the outlines of their sacred animal totems. Others suggest they were linked to rituals for summoning water, a precious resource in one of the driest places on Earth. And of course, there are those who believe they were messages to the gods, or even landing strips for ancient astronauts. Whatever their true purpose, the Nazca lines remain a powerful symbol of human ambition and our enduring connection to the cosmos, a silent message written on the Earth itself. The Antikythera Mechanism, the Baghdad Battery, the Voynich Manuscript, the Nazca lines. These are more than just historical oddities. They are profound reminders of the fragility of knowledge. They suggest that our story is not a simple, linear progression from primitive to advanced. Instead, it may be a story of peaks and valleys, of brilliant innovations that flared up, only to be extinguished and forgotten, lost to war, disaster, or simply the passage of time. These artifacts are the survivors, the lone emissaries from lost worlds of thought and skill. They challenge our modern arrogance and invite us to look upon our ancestors with a new sense of humility and awe. Each of these discoveries forces us to ask, what else have we missed? What other wonders lie buried beneath the soil, submerged under the sea, or hidden in plain sight on the pages of a forgotten book? Archaeology is not just about digging up the past, it is about redefining the present. Every out-of-place artifact is a crack in the foundation of our accepted history, letting in a sliver of light from a world far more complex and mysterious than we believed. It is a thrilling and sometimes unsettling process. It reminds us that our knowledge is always incomplete, always subject to revision by the next swing of a pickaxe or the next pass of a satellite. The enduring fascination with these mysteries speaks to something deep within the human spirit. We are a species driven by curiosity. We long to solve puzzles, to understand our origins, and to know that we are part of a story that is grand and epic. These unexplained discoveries feed that longing. They are the great detective stories of history, where we, the living, are the investigators, and the clues are scattered across millennia. They offer the tantalizing possibility that there is still magic and wonder to be found in the world, that not every question has been answered, that great secrets are still waiting. And so, the quest continues. Archaeologists, scientists, and linguists will keep working, driven by the hope of one day understanding these enigmatic objects. Perhaps one day the Voynich Manuscript will be decoded. Perhaps we will find another device like the Antikythera Mechanism. But even if these mysteries are never fully solved, their value is immense. They expand our sense of what is possible. They teach us that the human story is richer, stranger, and more magnificent than we could ever imagine. The Earth holds its secrets close, but sometimes it offers us a glimpse of the marvels